Hi everyone, Alex Steffen here. Got a bit of a head cold, so apologies. I thought I'd take everyone through how to research sites in Ipswich at this moment in time. So Ipswich have kind of quietly told us and every other consultant in that's ever asked a question that they're going to adopt their new planning scheme come the new financial year. So they haven't officially announced that yet, but we're 99% sure that's what will be happening. There's even other firms who have actually announced that on their own websites. So it seems like that's going to happen. And what consequence that has is if you're looking at a site in Ipswich that is developable now, it may not be under the new scheme in July. So you might be able to find a site. You have to lodge an application very quickly to be able to get it approved. So long as it's lodged before July 1st, then that's fine. Council can give weight to the upcoming changes, but if it's something to do with like density or lot sizes, you should be fairly okay. If it's something like flooding or heritage, then you've got a problem. And there are sites that certainly are like that. So on the flip side, you might be able to find sites for sale right now that don't have development potential but do under the new scheme. So I thought we'd start off just today by just having a look. I'll show you what filters I like to do. I like to do land and house. I also do a minimum of 1,000 square meters because a lot of sites in Ipswich under the current scheme, you're going to need 1,000 square meters. Yamanto, not bad. Let's have a look. Already a battle axe. Ripley, that might be in Ripley master plan. We'll have a look anyway. Marburg, that looks like a pretty nice little battle axe style subdivision lot, so we'll have a look at that. Carolee, we've actually had a couple in Carolee that were subdivided. There is a few master plans in Carolee, but if you are on one of the side streets that doesn't have one, then there's certainly some potential. Coal Falls, have a look at that. Goodna, that looks like a very steep site. We're not even going to bother. North Buval. All right. Let's just have a start with these ones. So, firstly, this if you just search Ipswich City Council interactive mapping, you'll find this map. This is the current map for the area. So let's have a look. So unfortunately, any inquiry that we get in this area requires a whole lot more investigation than usual. So right now, what do we got? 2,000 square meters, residential low density, urban catchment flow path. So let's have a quick look at that. That's basically a overland flow path in Brisbane or any other council region. So it does run through the back of the site. That said, it may still be worth looking into. So if you search Ipswich City Council draft amendments, then, oh, here we go. They may have actually announced it finally. There you go. Subject to council, it's planned to commence 1st of July. So that's good. So they only announced that a couple of days ago. So if we have a look at this site, Yamanto. So same property, different planning. First of all, it's in a large lot residential area. So that makes the minimum lot size 2,000 square meters. So could not be developed under the new scheme. It's got some waterway overlays. Let's have a look. I'm guessing it's going to have some flooding too. It certainly does. Yeah. Bit of flooding under the new scheme. Overland flow path. It pretty much cuts the whole site in half. And it's in a large lot precinct. So we're not going to bother with that one. 422 Ripley Road, Ripley. I reckon that's right smack bang in the middle of the master plan area, but let's have a look. It's not, but the entire frontage is covered by an overland flow path, as you can see there already. So, nope. 152 Queen, Marburg. Alright, just the front is affected by flooding, and it's also probably going to be isolated over here during a flood event too, which Ipswich will not like. So you can see, if you've ever watched my videos in Logan, for example, you'll notice that we find sites a lot easier. So this might be an interesting one. So this is in a large lot residential under the current scheme, so not developable, but let's have a look under the new scheme. And it's in the same zone. So, and it's flood affected, so that one's not a goer either. 20 BT Street, Coalfalls. Okay, this one's not looking actually too bad. Let's have a look at the new scheme, 20 BT. Bit more flooding. It's got some character overlays, and it's going into. Yeah, this one's a maybe. Marburg offers over 750. Oh no, this one's in Coalfalls. Okay, I mean, it'll be tight. Let's have a look. Let's look what the house looks like. All right, it's bang in the middle. You might be able to actually keep that house and cut a block off the front. Looks pretty asbestosy, doesn't it? Oh, look at that air conditioning. It's got inbuilt air conditioning right there. Yeah, I'm going to leave that one there. It's not my favorite, but it has something going for it. 18 Thurso Street, North Bavale. Okay, here we go. Now we're talking. Character mixed density. You can see there's development that's already happened around it. Now, this is where it's very important to have a look at the new scheme, because the new scheme very well may change that zoning. And it has. so this is the prime example of a site that has development potential right now, but doesn't under the new scheme. And if we have a look at that, so if you search this Ipswich planning scheme, their planning scheme was written under the Integrated Planning Act in 1997. So the planning scheme is almost 20 years old next year. So it doesn't look like any of the other planning schemes that you'll find around, which can be confusing. So let's have a look. So it's in the character mixed density. Character mixed density. You know what? I think it's actually this other one. Let's go back. Character area. I think it's this one. All right, so we have a look at that. So this is the precinct that it's in, CHM, which is confirmed here. Yep, character CHM. So if we go through here, it'll tell you usually what the density is allowed to be. So the density cannot exceed 50 dwellings per hectare. So I'll just do some quick math. 10,000 divided by 50. That's one dwelling per 200 square meters. So considering the site's 1,000 square meters, you definitely should be able to subdivide it. And even then, you may actually be able to do a bit more, because you could have five units there right now. I don't think that would stack up there, but a subdivision certainly might. So Urban Utilities is the sewer and water provider in Ipswich. So I thought I'd just have a quick look just to see. Oops, where did it go? This one here. Obviously, people have developed around, so you'd assume it's all good. To get the contour map in Ipswich, you have to click up here on the right and click contour plan and generate it. It takes a while. I'll let that do that in the background whilst we search 20. Was it Bent? No, it's 18 Thurso. North Buvale. It's got sewer running straight down the middle, and so that's amazing. It'll be very cheap to connect that. Water running directly along the front. Let's have a look at that contour map. That's 27, that's 28. So it does fall to the back boundary, but by like maybe a meter and a half. These guys have made it work, so you would assume that you'll be able to do the same. So I think that's a go. The issue with this one is you need to lodge this application very, very quickly. So this is the instance where we would probably just get a title plan from the titles office, and we would draw up a subdivision proposal plan ourselves, probably just replicating what's been done next door. But definitely do your feasibility on this one. Sewer's cheap, water's cheap. Definitely should be able to subdivide it. There's precedents all around it. You have to do it have to lodge your application in the next 2 months. So just be mindful of that. Maybe some minor fill to get some stormwater back to the street once we'll have to have a look at that. But council should condition that, and you'll just need to get a survey plan just to confirm exactly how much of it falls to the back. We could have a look at the next door neighbour, and you know what? Let's just do it, seeing that I'm filming. What is it? 20 Thursday. Sometimes you have to search the parent a lot, so the easiest way I do this. There we go. So their approval was from 2014. They may not have cared about stormwater discharge back then. It's funny, the same provisions applied and they were already there, but council just didn't seemingly care. So let that load up in the background. Taking its time. I have actually found that this likes timing out. You sometimes have to do it a few times. Yep, there we go. Let's have a look. So the front, it's good that they've got a survey. So the front invert level, there's a stormwater pipe there. That's at 27.78. And that's at 27.4. So you just have to do a little bit of fill there. And maybe that's why they've got this invert level here. So they can show how they're going to get that stormwater back to the curb. So that all looks achievable. And what I'm trying to say there is that the depth of the stormwater pit there, or the drain, is at 27.78 meters above sea level, and the rear of the site is at 27.4. So the rear of the site is just kind of 400 mil lower than that. So if you can fill up this to be higher, which would only be 27.7, so you'd have to fill about this much of the back of the light. Then all of the rest of this, if you put it into a pipe, should be able to go under the ground and naturally fall into that, obviously under the ground. So anyway, that looks like a goer. We'll leave it there. I'll include that one in this week's list and see if I can find some more. Thanks. Bye.